Welcome to this week's edition of Sun News at Noon. I'm Martina Acuna.
And I'm Shaylee Penrod. Thanks for tuning in.
While we are now Utah Tech University, the Old Dixie traditions still go on, as D-Week is coming up next week here at Utah Tech. Elijah Cascanet, Utah Tech Student Association Chief of Staff, said all traditions stay the same despite the school's name change. As D-Week continues its traditions, students are invited to celebrate the university's heritage. Monday night will be Brooke's birthday celebration. The pageant will take place on Tuesday. Wednesday will be comedian and coffee night. Thursday will be a Find the Bison game. Friday will be the Great Race and D-Week Carnival, along with Springfest. And to finalize D-Week's oldest tradition, held on Saturday, painting the D on the hill. All Utah Tech students are invited to participate, as well as community members. The new Student Union building won't be done for 4 to 6 years, but I asked students on campus what they would like to see in the new building. I asked students around campus if they knew about the new Student Center and what they would like to see in it. Here are their answers.
Probably more eating areas and a little more in the cafeteria, more selection.
For me, like having kind of something that is good for students to be at, somewhere where you can go and sit and do homework, you can go and sit and discuss ideas with friends and stuff like that, do group projects, things like that, and kind of has the resources for you to do that, as opposed to just kind of like a couple seats, you know, some chairs, and so.
I think it would be fun if they had like, I don't know, like different, because I know Campus View like does like their little game boxes and stuff like that. It would be cool if there was like a little game area, but then like a place, like another different room where you could do homework and it's like quiet, instead of just having like the eating area where you can do homework, like adding like desks or something like that.
More food options of the cafeteria that's behind right next to us, because it gets a little boring after a while of just pizza and hamburgers.
Maybe just a more modern building, more student spaces to kind of hang out or meet with people, I suppose.
So we've hired a couple architects that have worked on getting us some plans for the new building. And so we've been looking into different ideas. A lot of them consist of, we have a ton of new food options on the bottom level, so it's between 15 and 20 new food options. And then we have a new bookstore. We're looking at different ideas of where and how we want to orient it, but it might be 2 stories, so that'll be pretty cool. The current plan is probably to knock down the SAC, the Student Activity Center, and put it there, and it'll go from the road to like the fountain. And then the reason doing that is because it would be on the road right there to where like it has easy access to that parking lot. Because a lot of the issues we see with this building is a lot of older people, you know, they have a hard time accessing like the ballroom because it's so far in, especially with that hill and the stairs. It's just kind of a mess. So we kind of wanted to eliminate that. And then the new building will most likely have some event space on the upper levels, so we'll probably have some big event halls like on the top, and maybe some balconies, not sure yet. We're looking at different ideas. They were more worried about if we had, because we wanted to do those doors that open all the way, you know, like beautiful, right? And then they're like, oh my gosh, the airflow would just like knock up the power bill, and we're like, eh. So that's an idea we've been running with. And then obviously student government and MISA and all those student resources will be all in that same building, so we'll probably all be on like the 2nd and 3rd floor. So pretty cool. This building will get repurposed. We've thrown out a couple different ideas of bringing the Booth Wellness Center down here and the testing center and all that stuff. So those are the current ideas. It will require a fee increase to help pay for it, because the state doesn't pay for any student resource buildings like that. So we've obviously done a few different plans on that. Next year we'll probably see a student vote on whether they actually want to see this building, you know, happen, and if they're okay with the fee increase. Then we'll do that student vote probably late fall semester, and then we'll have the fee increase in spring, and let's do it. So it's probably about a 5 to 6 years away from construction. So it's pretty far away, but we need to get it going. So.
For Sun News, I'm Martina Acuna.
UTSA still has positions available for the marketing, service, Stampede, and student life branches. Marketing positions would interest students who enjoy graphic design and managing social media accounts. The service branch provides students opportunities to serve on campus and in the community, and the Stampede branch makes student sections at games fun and loud. The Student Life branch oversees the activities held on campus, such as the foam dance and concerts. Joining UTSA can give students the opportunity to get involved, receive scholarships, make friends, and gain life experiences. The application end dates vary, so if you are interested, don't wait. For more information, email utsapresident@utahtech.edu. After the break, I will be interviewing Utah Tech's new student body president, Jose Terral.
Everyone loves a champion, someone whose performance puts them head and shoulders above the rest. But not all champions wear a medal or hoist a trophy. At the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, we see champions everywhere we look. In every sport, on every court, we're building a foundation to ensure all athletes are safe, supported, and strengthened. We believe abuse can be prevented by taking a hard look at how we coach, how we train, and how we interact after the last whistle. We have provided over 2 million safe sport trainings. At the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, ending abuse is not just our job, it's our promise.
I'm here with Jose Terral, our new student body president. I'm just gonna ask him a few questions. First of all, Jose, how did it feel when you won student body president?
I was very much in shock. I was in disbelief for like almost the entire day. After I found out the voting closed at 1, so between like 1 and 1:30, I was just waiting for the results, and it was really stressful time. But as soon as I saw my picture and the results, I was just really excited and super happy.
Yeah, congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
So where are you from?
I'm originally from Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
I moved here when I was young, and I've grown up in St. George.
Okay, so how long have you gone to Utah Tech?
So I came in 2016, and then I took a few years off. So I didn't enroll back until 2019, and I've been here since fall 2019, so almost 5 years.
Awesome. Have you enjoyed your time here?
Yeah, I loved it.
So what are your plans? What do you think will be your first actions as president?
Yeah, I really want to just get started on my platform and start developing it. We actually are doing a new position on UTSA called the Presidential Initiatives Coordinator. So that position will be focused on what I ran for. So a lot of it will be rebuilding that relationship with the Center of Inclusion and Belonging, making more students aware of all the opportunities on campus, making everyone feel welcome, and just provide more resources, as well as student involvement, which has been super helpful for me and is probably the reason why I'm still in school. And to just, I believe you can get involved in so many ways. It doesn't necessarily have to be through student government. You can join an intramural, you can join a club, beyond Code Red. There's just tons of options.
Yeah.
So those are just some of the things I'll be focusing on as soon as I start.
I'm excited to see those come in. And I'm interested, where did the goal of becoming student body president come from? Or how long have you had that goal?
Yeah, so I actually ran 3 years ago. I ran for vice president of clubs, and I was one of the first ones. During the first week, I was the first one out. And that kind of, I took it a little bit hard just because it was way out of my comfort zone. And then I realized that I think a couple weeks later, I realized I wanted to join student government and run for student body president last year. So I ran last year, and I was able to make it to top 2 with our current student body president. And after I didn't get elected, I was like, I'm gonna do it one more time. My last year, I'll run again. So I've been very passionate about the school and just seeing how much getting involved actually changes perspective.
I'm glad that you ended up running again. I'm excited to see that. So in a previous interview with you, you mentioned that you want to fight for what students need. So is there anything that you feel like students need right now at Utah Tech?
Yeah, right now the current thing is probably the new student union building, and I haven't had the opportunity much on what like that entails, but just finding out more of what that is, and I'll be shadowing our president Dink right now, and just to kind of get more familiarized. I think we are in need of it, so just trying to get a hold of like what all will be needed for that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Are there things that previous presidents have done that you can picture yourself doing differently?
I think our current student body president has done a really good job at getting people engaged. There's been a lot of student engagement this year, and so I want to continue that and just expand more. One of my biggest goals right now is to have our UTSA for next year be a little bit more diverse. So I've reached out to the International Student Services, to MISA, and just a lot more organizations on campus to try to get more students to apply and be on the council for next year.
Awesome, that's so cool. I have one more question, and it's just, what are you most excited for now that you're student body president?
I'm excited to just be everywhere. I'm excited to work with more students, get to know more students. Campaigning was so fun. I made a ton of connections, and so I'm excited to keep doing that and just work on my platform and just get to experience my last year here.
Well, that's so awesome, and congratulations again. I think we're all really excited to see you as our student body president.
Thank you.
And thanks for coming on our show today.
Yeah, thank you for having me here.
After the break, we will tune into Sun News Daily's weekly weather forecast with Sydney Walls.
Ever wonder what's just over the horizon? You should. The land of exploration is calling. Rise to it.
Hello Trailblazers, let's take a look at this week's weather. The weekend is going to be a bit chilly. Friday through Sunday in the mid to low 50s. Partly cloudy conditions expected throughout the weekend. We see full sunshine and temps in the upper 50s on Monday. Temps jumping to the 60s on Tuesday and dropping to the mid 50s for Wednesday. Slight chance of rain on Wednesday. Thursday will be in the mid 50s with partly cloudy skies. Tons of flooding and rain we've had here over the past week. The Virgin River has been crazy. I went to check it out during the storms. Let's take a look. I'm out here at the Virgin River, and as you can see, it's very full. On average this time of year, we see stream flow at about 300 cubic feet per second. Well, we've been seeing numbers about 1,300 cubic feet per second. Back in 2005, many residents remember the devastating flood that wiped out many homes and did lots of damage. Could we see a repeat disaster? Well, as we see snowpack melt and temps increase, we'll just have to wait and see. Let's head back to the studio to hear more about Trailblazer Athletics from Jake Palmer.
At the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, we see champions everywhere we look. In every sport, on every court, we're building a foundation to ensure all athletes are safe, supported, and strengthened. At the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, ending abuse is not just our job. It's our promise.
Does your heart ever want to escape? Just to see what your eyes are looking at? The land of anticipation is calling. Rise to it.
Welcome back, Trailblazers. Despite the week off for students during spring break here in St. George, the Utah Tech baseball team hosted New Mexico State in a 3-game series last Friday. The Blazers won 2 out of 3 games, improving to 7-9 at games played at home, and 2-1 in games played against WAC opponents. In the game on Sunday, the Blazers came out strong with a 5-run first inning and did not drop the lead for the rest of the game. Senior Zach Thomas pushed the Blazers to a victory with 2 runs, 3 hits, and an RBI, all in 5 appearances at the plate. This is the first series win this season for Utah Tech. Tomorrow they start another 3-game series at home against a different WAC opponent. Stephen F. Austin will come to sunny St. George tomorrow night, and the game will start at 6 p.m. The softball team has had a great season as well, jumping out to a record of 18-9. They are undefeated in conference play at 3-0 and have more than stood their ground at home with 8 wins and 2 losses. The Blazers currently ride a 3-game winning streak going into their series against the WAC opponent New Mexico State tomorrow. They have been a juggernaut offensively, scoring a total of 169 runs in 27 total games. That averages out to 6.5 runs per game. The defense has also been outstanding as they have held their opponents to just 3 runs a game on average. The Blazers will have 2 games tomorrow night against New Mexico State at home, the first starting at 2 p.m. and the second one will follow at 4 p.m. Utah Tech track made history after wrapping up their very first outdoor track meet at home. Friday night was a big one for sophomore Lexi Larson, running the 5,000 meter and getting a time that makes her the 3rd fastest in that event in school history. She did not stop there. Larson ran the 800 meter, breaking a team record by 2 seconds. The 100 meter sprint had sophomore Roshana Gibson placing above everyone else with a time of 12.5 seconds, 6th best in the school all time. The next event for the Trailblazers will be at UC Irvine from March 30th to April 1st. After the break, I'll be joining Zoe Hansen to recap how the Trailblazers did in the 2023 WAC tournament in Vegas.
Throughout history, each pivotal moment, every major transformation,
and all consequential advancements came at a price.
A price paid through immeasurable effort, sacrifice, and grit.
But only greatness emerges from immense pressure and a willingness to alter the status quo.
Building on over a century of trailblazing, Utah Tech University is on the rise.
As one of the fastest growing,
most affordable, and rapidly evolving institutions in the nation,
Utah Tech offers transformative experiences
for all disciplines through our more than 200 academic programs.
Whether in art,
business,
humanities,
health sciences,
education, or STEM,
Utah Tech students imagine, create, and innovate
through active learning and real-world experiences
in one of the most desirable and scenic locations in the world.
Honoring the past, dominating the present, and forging the future.
We are Utah Tech University.
Welcome back. I'm Jake Palmer here with my co-host Zoe Hansen. And Zoe, we're going to be talking about how it was a big year for the basketball teams, both basketball teams, men and women, for Utah Tech, going to their very first WAC tournament and winning both of their first games in their very first appearance in the WAC tournament in Vegas this year.
Yes, I definitely think it was a big season for both teams overall. They had amazing chemistry on the court, and it definitely showed through all the way to their tournament at Vegas this year. Absolutely.
Very, very strong play from both teams. We're going to take a look at the women's highlights right now and give you kind of a recap of how their first game went against Utah Valley University. Maggie McCord, their very, very strong game, 19 points, 5 for 9 from 3, and she had a very, very good game overall. She's been shooting the lights out this entire season. Blazers got off very strong, 11-0 run in the very first quarter. 11-0. That was amazing. They came out in the very first appearance in Vegas and just went crazy.
Yes, and I think that's a big thing too, you know, coming out strong, showing the other team that you're not afraid. It definitely can set the standards high.
You know, they shot the majority of their shots from three-point land and made the majority of their attempts. And we're here with Brooke Vance coming off the bench, hitting a 3 in the first quarter. And Brianna Gillen passing it to Maggie McCord once again, 5 for 9 on three-point attempts in this game alone.
Yeah, we can definitely see their chemistry. Even on here, we see Brianna Gillen and Maggie McCord, Emily Isaacson. They're all very, very strong players, and they completed everything on this court.
Absolutely. And why not a little bit of more three from Maggie McCord? Once again, 19 points in this game. Very, very strong. Came out and just took the lead.
And we've seen towards the end of their season, a lot of them have been hitting double digits every single game for the last few games.
Absolutely. Big win against UVU in the very first round of the WAC tournament.
I mean, I'd be as excited as they were if I was there.
Great emotion. Now, the men, on the other hand, also won their very first game against Stephen F. Austin, and we'll look at the highlights right now. Cameron Gooden led the way, scoring the majority of the points for the Blazers, coming in with a layup on the right side for the men's team.
You know, Cameron Gooden's been a big player on the men's basketball team this year, and he hit 1,000 career points, which is huge. I think that's a big thing in this game today.
Absolutely. One of only 9 players in Utah Tech history to be able to do that accomplishment, be able to score over 1,000 points. And honestly, in this game, it just came down to desires. You see Frank Stain with the offensive rebound after a couple tip-ups. This game was all about the desire to win. And even though Utah Tech was ranked the 11th seed, playing the 6th seed Stephen F. Austin, seeding doesn't matter if you just have one game to win, right?
Yes, and even as we've seen in March Madness, the seeding doesn't matter. Any team can come out there and come out with a win, and we've seen a lot of underdogs do that this season.
Absolutely, and this team has such great chemistry and just a will to win. They know what they're doing. Cameron Gooden, their leader, passing it out to Jacob Nichols for the 3 in the corner. Jacob has shot the lights out. Also going to be a senior. We're going to be losing this year. Sad, but you know, it was a good run this season.
Yeah, even though we're losing these seniors, we're going to be definitely excited next year.
Absolutely. Dan Salito, big steal. This is the beginning of overtime. This game went into overtime. Steal with a dunk and one to put the Blazers up, and that would eventually seal the deal with the free throws at the end of the game. Frank Stain with 3 in the corner. Frank shot the lights out. He also had 6 rebounds, despite his height of being 6'6". He's a heck of a rebounder. He's just a big guy, wants to get out there and just wants to win the game.
I feel like height has never been a problem with this men's basketball team. I mean, Cameron Gooden, he's definitely not the tallest player, but he's making some of the biggest plays that we've seen.
Yeah, we've got guys reaching from 6'10" all the way down to Cam Gooden, who's like 5'10", 5'11", even though he's 6 foot. There's a wide range of heights on this team, but it's all about the heart that matters, right?
Yes, it really doesn't matter, the height.
All right, we will see you back here after the break.
You can measure horsepower, but there's no measure for thrill. The land of exhilaration is calling. Rise to it.
Okay, we all saw the video of the Virgin River just flooding. There was way too much rain in the past couple of weeks, right?
I mean, I feel like even though we need it, we don't want it. It's too much. I want sunny St. George.
I know. Absolutely. You think like March, spring break, you think sunshine, nice weather, but it's been just rain.
I took all my sweaters home on spring break because I thought it was going to be warm when I came back, so I'm like struggling this week to find out what to wear.
Then again, I'm just enjoying this rain because I know blazing heat is coming up. So I'm just glad at taking it all in, and also that river view was amazing.
Oh yeah, it was pretty cool.
Waiting for like the 70 comfortable weather, like a nice light breeze, you know.
I know, me too.
But we can wait on like the hot weather.
Yeah.
I'm not ready for that.
It's coming up. And that's it for this week's edition of Sun News at Noon.
Thanks for tuning in.
We will see you here next week, same time, same place. Have a great week, Trailblazers.